We're here today at Portland Square, the home of the Royal Wealth Club, and we're following up on our event in January at Bordeaux Quay, and I'm very pleased to welcome Grace Howells from Resonance. Before we find out more about Resonance, would you mind just telling us a bit about yourself and why you joined?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a senior investment analyst at Resonance at the moment. I've been part of the team for about 3.5 years now. And I guess my journey into the social investment world started really back when I grew up in the Black Country, which is an area just outside Birmingham. I think it's always worth clarifying where the accent's from.
Okay.
So the Black Country is essentially a very deprived area of the UK, but also it's got a brilliant kind of sense of community and resilience, really.
Yeah.
So for me, I've kind of, for as long as I can remember, been interested in how communities can come together and collaborate to really change things in deprived communities. That initially led me to study economics. I guess trying to work out how things work and how things could change. It probably taught me more about how things shouldn't work, I think.
Okay.
So for me, I just kind of left in search of a more people-centred approach to looking at the world. And I guess my main interest was looking at how finance and business could be about much more than generating profit or shareholder value, and looking at a much kind of bigger influence and the kind of impact that that might be able to have. So that kind of led me to the world of social enterprise. Spent quite a few years in the sector looking at everything from evaluation of social enterprise support programmes, analysing investor motivations, and then finally found Resonance, which was a company that really aligned with my values and was just doing some really exciting, innovative stuff, both with social enterprises and investors, so I was keen to get involved in that.
All right, I see. And just for a bit of clarity, what do you think a social enterprise actually is?
Yes, it's a good question. I guess an ongoing debate. But for us at Resonance, social enterprise is essentially a business that exists to tackle a social issue right at its core. So firstly, that means the key priority is to deliver a specific outcome for a defined beneficiary group, whether that be people at risk of homelessness or ex-offenders, but that's the kind of reason the business exists. But secondly, that it also means it's a business, so it sells goods and services to generate an income, but more often than not, the surplus from that is then reinvested into the business to further that social mission.
Okay, so it's a bit like, instead of having a charity where you give to a charity and then you think, well, you're just giving the money away, you almost lend the money to a business that then does very good work in the community, and then they can generate more money and then do more good work with the profits that they make.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of using business as a means to an end, really. It's the mechanism through which you can tackle the issues that are in your community sustainably and make sure it kind of funds itself. But the key priority isn't, generating profits and just existing for business sake. But the business is a way of being able to do it kind of sustainably over time.
How does Resonance fit in with the Royal Wealth Club's key themes of health, wealth and happiness?
So for me, I think if you're thinking about the whole theme of health, wealth and happiness, you have to ask the question of what impact is my wealth having? How can I use the way that I invest to actually change the things that I care about? And also kind of how can my investments not only benefit myself, but also how can it create opportunities for other people?
Yeah.
So that's really what Resonance is all about. So our key mission is to act as a bridge, really, between social enterprises and investors. Firstly, so that the enterprises can get the investment they need to grow their business and grow their social impact and do what they do best, but also so that investors can invest their wealth and time in the things that they're passionate about. So that's really why we exist.
Okay, great. And sort of the development of this has been the Bristol Social Investment Fund.
Yeah.
And I think the full title is Social Investment with Tax Relief.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Relief. Okay, so the Resonance Bristol SOTR Fund, so SOTR is the Social Investment Tax Relief. That's a fund dedicated to dismantling poverty in Bristol and the surrounding region through investing in mission-driven social enterprise. It's the first fund in the country, at least one of the first, to offer the social investment tax relief, which essentially gives investors a tax break if they invest in the fund and ultimately in social enterprise.
Oh, I see. And how much is that tax break?
So there is a 30% income tax relief, so 30% of the value of any investment made can be knocked off the investor's tax bill. There's also capital gains tax deferral relief, so if a chargeable gain is invested into an eligible social enterprise, that liability is deferred until the investment is disposed of, essentially.
So it's similar for people that know their investments, similar to something called an enterprise investment scheme.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's essentially the social investment market's equivalent of EIS or the enterprise investment scheme. Yeah. Okay,
great. And so you get the tax breaks, you help some social enterprises, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a second. What sort of risk level and what sort of return do the investors receive?
So the risk, I guess it's worth noting, there is a degree of risk in this type of investment that might be higher than you'd expect from, say, a secured lender such as a bank. But that is exactly why there's a tax relief attached to this type of investment, just as there is with the enterprise investment scheme when you're supporting this stage of business in their kind of first initial growth phase. So that's worth noting. The idea of creating an SOTR fund, however, is in part to mitigate that risk because we're investing in a portfolio of businesses. Yeah. So every investor will have a minimum kind of diversification. So we commit to each investor being invested in a minimum of 6 businesses. At the moment we're targeting more like 10, and no one investor will hold any more than 25% of one deal. Right. It's also worth noting that we're the focus of what we do through SOTR is offering loans. So the key distinguishing thing about SOTR that separates it from EIS is that it's the first tax relief to be available on debt investments as well as equity. So not only is that a crucial distinction for the social enterprise, because most of them are looking for unsecured loans because of the way they're structured, they can't take on equity. So for many of them it's the first time they've been able to work with investors, offer an attractive tax relief and get the terms that work for them. But obviously it's also an important distinction for investors because there's an additional, I guess, uncertainty when you look at equity investment in terms of valuation, when are you going to be able to exit. In this case it's just a standard 6-year loan that we're offering to enterprises. There's a lot more kind of clarity and ability for investors to plan for those capital repayments and interest payments. Okay. So finally, to answer your question about return, so the target post-tax relief IRR for the fund is 7 to 8%.
Sorry, so IRR, is that?
Internal rate of return.
Oh, I see.
So that return basically reflects the kind of time period over which you invest in and the whole cash flow of the investor. So you've obviously got the initial investment being made, then the tax relief comes in, you start to get interest payments coming through, and then the capital repayments. So that IRR captures the different timing and the kind of overall return across the time period. But it's worth noting that actually represents on a pre-tax basis a gross equivalent return of more like 12%. So in other words, if you were looking to get a similar return after tax, you'd need to be getting a gross return of more like 12% on an alternative investment.
And that's the impact of the 30% tax break that you get?
So it's just the impact of, obviously, if you're making another investment where you would be taxed on the return, in order to end up with a similar return that we're projecting through this fund, it would need to be a gross return of more like 12%. So sometimes we're thinking about the kind of gross comparison. So
investors, to put it in a nutshell, investors get a good return on their money. They are helping Bristol as a whole, and they get good tax breaks at the same time. And also, instead of investing in something that might be sort of going up and down like the stock market, it's in something that gives them quite a stable return. They're getting an interest rate of 6 or 7%, and they get their money paid back over a 6-year period. So where can people find out more? What's the website address?
So it's resonance.ltd.uk.
Resonance.ltd.uk.
Yes.
Okay, we'll put that on our website as well for people watching this video. We'll also try and put the link on for for that at the same time. Well, thank you very much, Grace. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it today.
Thank you.
And if you want to find out more about Resonance, look on their website.